Hi everyone, my name is Saib. Welcome to Stories in Saib. This is my booktube channel and here I talk about bookish things, so I want to take a moment and make a video about my book club. My book club is definitely a part of my regular scheduled reading, if you will. First off, I think it's a fun story and I'll be telling you about how we came about, but secondly, I feel like the way we do book club is the way book clubs should be run more often. I think it's a unique approach, so let me know your thoughts down below. Are you in a book club currently? And let's get into it. One of the things I love about my book club is how organically this came about. So it's an IRL book club. My friend, I met her because she was a client of mine. Through working with her, we talked about books and our shared love of books, and we bonded over that. And then when we wrapped the job up, we, shook our hands and went our separate ways. And about a year later, I got a text from her that was like, hey, do you want to join a book club with me, this other girl I met at Sephora, and her friend? And I was like, yeah. One of the unique things that I love about my book club is that I met these people really through the book club situation. Now, I have a lot of really wonderful friends who also read, and none of them are really in this book club. It's not because they aren't wonderful readers. And I do buddy read stuff with the friends that you've seen on this channel before, but trying to do something as formal and as organized as meeting every month would just not happen with my group of friends. Speaking of, I really do want to quickly plug my friend Carrie's booktube. So she has just started a booktube channel. I was really excited to see her concept behind it. I'm gonna link it down in the description. It's called Judged by the Cover. She is not a reader that really dives into synopses that much. So she truly does judge books by the cover, and I think that it is going to create some really fun content and definitely have a unique perspective to bring to booktube. So go check her out. I will link her channel in the description. Okay, all that to say is all of the girls besides the person who invited me that are in the book club, I met through the book club. Okay, so this is how it works. We meet the first Thursday of every month, and we really try to not deviate from that. If we were trying to move the date around to accommodate all of the schedules of everybody, it would just not be realistic, even though it comes from a good place, to make sure everybody is available, especially when we're meeting once a month. So we're consistent. We meet the first Thursday of every month. The second kind of guideline is that every person is rotating through a month to pick their prompt. And I say prompt because this is the best part. We do not read the same books. Instead, whoever's month it is allowed to pick a prompt, some sort of guideline. Either everybody needs to read from the same author, the same book award, a theme, even if it's a trope that someone is really enjoying at the time, they can pick that. So that every person is still excited about their reading, still challenged in some way, but ultimately reading is for enjoyment and shouldn't really feel like homework. And in doing it this way, we have ensured that everybody is able to read what they're interested in. But we still have group discussions around the theme or around the prompt that was selected for that month. Some of my favorites that I'll give you as examples is independent women, either someone you would have looked up to in childhood or just someone generally inspiring. Dark academia, self-explanatory. And then the Alex Award. So the Alex Award is an award to an adult novel that has a specific draw towards a young adult audience. One month we all read banned books, and then another month we read a book that was like one of your favorite movies. So those are just examples of some of my favorite monthly guidelines that has been picked. And I will say a good amount of our chats are either someone pitching you the book and being you have to read this, it was so good for XYZ reason, or someone on, the other side of the coin being listen, this book was not good and here are all the reasons why I think so. So that's how it works. I'm going to wrap up this video by letting you know the couple of books that I have read over the past year and a half of being in this book club that I have given 5 stars. Now, I will say, in prepping for this video, I was going back and trying to look for all of the books that I have read specifically to discuss at book club, and I wasn't able to remember the full list. But I do have 4 books I want to tell you about that are all-time favorites of mine, 5-star reads. First is a book you've probably seen on this channel before, which is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adichie. Near dystopian, very weird and out there. This, I believe, was selected for the Alex Award prompt. I still think about this book. I think I read it a year ago, more than a year ago, and This would be one I would love to see turned into a movie. Next, I have Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is a fantasy romance that I read, and the prompt for this one was a duology. So we were actually reading 2 books that month. So I read One Dark Window, and this is the second one, Two Twisted Crowns. One Dark Window isn't in the stack because I gave it 4 stars, not 5, but this follow-up sequel and the conclusion to this mini-series, this duology, was a 5-star read. Gothic with a really strong fantasy plotline and a magic system that was intriguing. I will say the romance in here was also probably one of the reasons I gave it 5 stars. Next up, I have Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This was a really fun pick. So my friend decided that for Halloween, she was going to have 5 different prompts that we were going to randomly pick like out of a bowl. And one of the prompts, the one that I got, was death as a character. So Gods of Jade and Shadow is by one of my favorite authors, and I was excited to get to this. It is a historical fantasy, but I would say the second half of this book feels like a full-on fantasy novel. I was addicted reading this book. There's a quest and a task to be accomplished. It has Mayan mythology, and the historical part of the historical fantasy is set in the Jazz Age. And lastly, The Forgotten Kingdom by Signa Pike. This is a book that I read in February of this year. It was my favorite book of the year when I read it. It's still my favorite book of the year. 8 months later. Yeah, this is exceptional. This is the second book in a series and has Celtic mythology, a lot of lore, heartbreaking family dynamics. The rivalries are bitter and the kingdoms are ancient, and I think about this main character all the time. I still have 2 more books left in the series to read. I've been putting off reading the 3rd one because the 4th one doesn't come out until 2027. Sad, sad day. Okay, well that's it for this video. Thank you for listening to me talk about my book club. Obviously I'm biased, but I do think we have a really unique approach to making reading a community activity. It's one of my favorite things about my reading. So my question for you is, do you have an idea for me of a prompt that the next time it's my turn to pick the month that you would like to see me pick? If you have any creative ideas or something I should look into, let me know down below. If you like other bookish content like this, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you. And other than that, have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next one. Bye!